and very productive use of your life. Welcome to News Analysis. And of course, we are doing all things this morning. We're looking at top stories, catching up on updated stories, and trying to make sense of all of them. We're live on YouTube, so please go to High Voltage News, like, subscribe, and share. You can also call live into the studio this morning to be a part of the program. Please call our phone lines 0706 048 5853. Also call 0915 570 8347 to be a part of the program this morning. My name is Mavis Atadume, your host. Now let's take it straight to the newspaper headlines. This is from the Daily Post this morning. We'll be getting first stories from. The first thing on the news this morning is that Nigerians are lamenting as Dangote and Petron cite global crude price for fuel hike. I told you, we're not catching any break in 2025, and they are consistent. They're not missing on these parts. You find out that things like this never fail. These hikes and these increases will continue to make face. And this is just about the 20th day of the year. You know, we haven't even gone anywhere. We have about 340 plus days into the year, and this is where we are. And from the beginning of this particular administration, we have not been starting the year appropriately because it's always been launched in by some story or another, but none of it is in the interest of Nigerians. Only a few Nigerians have benefited from the stories that are coming out from this government. One wonders, what is really the agenda and what is really the priority? Can someone become so affected by the whims of the people and decide to call an end to some of these problems, seeing that it is, something that human can solve? It's not like some supernatural problem, because this is where I have a problem. These problems are human made, they are man made, and they can be man solved. Humans can solve them, but it turns out the Nigerian problems are not human solved. These problems with the petrol hike and fluctuations in prices, which in no way benefits the people, is now probably a spiritual matter that Nigerians have to pray about. But we can literally name the people who are manipulating these things. And it's not fair. It's just you would think that someone somewhere would think to put the Nigerian people, just for once, ahead of selfish interest and personal benefits and personal interests, and just do something in the favor of the Nigerian populace. But that will seem to be like a very high jump from where we're standing. The Lagos-Abuja Superhighway project faces threat as two consortiums engage in battle for federal government's node. All right, it continues to be a thing. Increase in fuel price, not our fault, says Dangote Refinery. All right, the NNPCL commences rehabilitation of pipelines and depots. Moving forward, alleged frustration, Ned Nwoko is set to dump the PDP for the APC. I told you, there will be a lot of righteous quitting of the PDP into the APC. I guess the final merge will happen between now and 2027. So PDP might be a party that is completely dissolved probably at the end of who knows what time, but it seems PDP is losing most of its members, and of course for very good reason. A house that is troubled within itself cannot take wars from outside. So for an opposition party, you have played yourselves. All right, you've played yourselves with your interactions with the ruling party and your affiliations. You've played wrong. You've played wrong from the 2023 elections, from the Muslim ticket and the misplacement of the presidential ticket from your side of the ball was very wrong playing for people who have had experience in the government. They have run for 16 years. You didn't play that right. And here we are. here we are. There will be more righteous moving from PDP to APC because I mean it's the smart thing to do. I probably would move to APC because they are the people who are running things now. It's politics. It's not sentiment. So everybody gets it. Nobody's confused right now. And I tell you, more people are going to make that move. Even people you didn't see coming. Governors are in line, senators are in line, top statesmen are in line, waiting to make the crossover, waiting to make the move. This is how it works. It's not, and nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing it. Let's see if we can grab a couple more. Borno State Adama pilgrims are to pay 8.33 million naira as the NACON reveals 2025 Hajj fare. All right, I heard that the Hajj subsidies have been removed, so perhaps this is the new going price. 8.33 million as NACON reveals 2025 Hajj price. So you figure out what you need to do. Okay, Nasarawa Polytechnic expels 100 students for examination malpractice. All right. Shehu Sani speaks on Trump's government and says he won't be loved and he will face resistance by allies and forces. This presidency of Mr. Trump seems to be taking African leaders in very confused ways. We don't know where you stand. Some of you seem to be excited about it, and some of you are just really, really mad that he made it back to presidency. At this point, I don't think we should be worried about what other people are doing. Africa should be really concerned about how she's faring on the global outlook and also at home, because we don't seem to be at our best at the moment. PDP crisis, I would have disowned Wabara if he was my father, says Wike. The FCT minister, he can be very verbose with his statements and his comments, and he says, I would have disowned Wabara if he was my father. And this is coming from Wike. All right, moving forward, alleged frustration. Ned Nwoko is said to dump the PDP for the APC. Okay, that's the much we should grab on the Daily Post this morning. Let's go somewhere else and take a look around, see what's going on. Okay, I was gonna get to the Punch newspaper, but it kind of like slipped away, so we'll find them. All right, let's look at the Vanguard News. High interest rates. Manufacturers are cutting back on bank loans. You have no idea. You have no idea what the banks have turned themselves into. You have no idea. You are breaking the hearts of the Nigerian people. If you have any idea what these people are doing when it comes to interests, oh my goodness, they are rendering people bankrupt. It's so unchecked, it's so unmonitored. Nobody's ever bothered. If it's happening to the Nigerian people, nobody is bothered. I don't know if you heard about the incident with the EFCC official in Oka, where the doctor whose resident they attacked in the middle of the night around 3 a.m. had used his firearm to take down one of the officers and had the other one very badly injured. And this particular incident has caused a ruckus on the internet with Nigerians going both ways with their comments and their reactions to this incident. The young officer who was taken out was set to be married in 2 weeks. And so many questions have come out of that operation. So many questions have come out of that operation, causing Nigerians to agent call 0915-570-8347. Let's hear your thoughts on these things. Please keep your comments clean, simple, and civil. Good morning.
Good morning, Melvin.
Greetings to you. You're welcome, Charles.
Happy New Week.
Well, I wish you a very good one.
Congratulations, Donald Trump. Good to have him.
Oh, yes.
A man that if people love him, irrespective of his shortcomings, they just love him. I don't know, And I hope we can get somebody who will love like something this country one day.
Okay.
We are talking about Africans being talking about, why would we talk about America? America controls the world. You know, whatever happens in the world is America. When I was going through a document this weekend, and I was looking at American exports,
Mm.
you know, and I was like, man, I was marveled. I
Charles,
was looking at,
can you please direct me to things that are happening in this country that are directly affected, related to America? Help me.
even the drugs you take, most of the drugs you take,
You mean
the
like
cars
you mean
drive,
like medication? You mean like medication?
yes,
Okay.
medication, even the drugs you take, the ones even going there for treatment, the hospitals we have here, not the electronics.
But you say these things like they're giving us these things for free. Don't we get to like pay for them and purchase them? I thought it was business relationship where we pay for things and they give it to us.
Because they're not producing anything. We depend. I say America controls the world. We depend on America. Most of the world depend on America for so many things. Even in arms, when you talk about defense, most countries buy arms from America. In fact, like I said I was looking at document this weekend.
What things do you think we actually purchase from America?
I think we were dependent on them on virtually everything. I say from drugs, electronics, automobile.
You think America produces these things?
Why not?
Have you heard that the American dream is made in China? Have you ever read a statement like that before?
American what?
Have you ever heard that the American dream is made in China?
Leave that thing.
Everything America uses is produced in China. Did you know that? I have this on very good information. Somewhat. Somewhat.
Some of the things they use are produced in China. They have American companies in China. Just like Chinese have American have Chinese companies in America. Just like Japanese companies are in America. You understand? This is not like let me tell you something like Toyota now, the Japanese company. But Lexus is produced in the United States. Are you aware? Lexus, the brand Lexus, is produced in the United States.
Okay.
But it's a Japanese company. I don't want to get it.
I'm with you. I'm right here.
So that is how it is. Even in China, there are some Chinese firms that are in America. There are some American companies that are in China. What I'm talking about ordinary exports, when you talk about exports, like last year, America exported $90 billion worth of pharmaceuticals. In defense, they exported $268 billion worth of arms. $268 billion worth of arms. What are you exporting in Nigeria? What are African countries exporting? So we rely on them for most of the things we use. Automobile alone, America is like $16 billion worth of automobiles, the world. You get, we are not dependent on America. Do you know when the first toothpick was used in Nigeria? Toothpick that you use to pick your teeth. Do you know?
I would think China. I mean, China makes everything we use here. I don't think.
The first toothpick that was produced in Nigeria was in 2016. The first toothpick, every toothpick used in Nigeria before the was imported. That is how loud we are.
But why do you think that is? That's why I was asking you, why do you think this is America's problem? Why do you think this situation that you just explained now is directly related to America? All these things you think we don't do for ourselves, we don't produce, we don't manufacture.
You wonder why Africans are talking about.
Yes, I'm wondering why we're so interested in how America does.
America is what happened in the world, so we must talk about it.
Okay, that's why I asked how it directly affects us as Nigerians. You see, that's why we got into this conversation. I was asking all of these things you mentioned. How does it directly affect America? I thought you were going to talk about the diaspora and maybe brothers and sisters who might be over there and how it might affect them and them coming back home and what that might do to our already poor Naira.
Citizenship by birth is going to stop it.
Oh yes, that's right. We know about that.
So whatever Trump does now, is going to affect everybody in the world. You know, when he came in the first time, he said build the walls against Mexico. You get? He came in and said they were calling it Trump walls, because Mexico was the place that were using to bring in drugs the United States. So when he came, he said he was going to build the wall to stop the drug trafficking that was taking place between Mexico and America. So I just want to say congratulations to Donald Trump. I mean, I wish him all the best in this 4 years, and we should take a cue from Trump, also from our leaders. You know, when he came the first, what his campaign slogan was "America First." If you remember, America First, America First, America First. So everything was doing was to defend America against their first rivals in China. So we should have a Nigerian president that we should come in one day and say Nigeria first, protect Nigerian businesses, protect Nigerian interests against the rest of the world. However, I also will go to that extent. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Charles. You are always very expressive. I appreciate that about you. Thank you for calling. And of course, I do know for a fact that you are a big fan Trump. Sorry, a very big Trump fan. You always, even before the inauguration, even during the elections, you kept hammering on how much you thought a Trump presidency would do the entire world a lot of good. And so far so good. You seem to be winning because Trump seems to be winning, both in cryptocurrency and so many other endeavors, especially in clearing America of wrong immigrants. You know, the people who come from the backyard and the people who don't know why they are coming to America as well. But then at the end of the day, a lot of people will be affected, especially people who are from this side of the world, because usually, because of all the problems that Charles have stated, we apparently can't do anything for ourselves. So we probably have to go to other places where they've done the work and then benefit from their standards that are working, benefit from their system that is working, and then talk about it and shout about it, because that's what we are very good at doing. That's where we shine. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mavis.
Greetings to you.
Okay. How are you doing?
No problems at all.
Yeah. My name is Amos Chuku. As usual, I'm reviewing from Izago, initial local government area of Ebonyi State.
Greetings. How is Izago this morning?
Izago is cool and calm.
That is okay.
The weather is clement.
But I hear that there's a community clash somewhere in Ebonyi.
Yes,
during the weekend.
Local government.
Equal, yes, it's around Equal. What really happened over there? What's going on?
My sister, in fact, I can't explain it actually what is going on. So I don't have
the information. Yes, well, I'm still looking over here. I'm still trying to find out what's happening over there.
But I hope it's a land dispute.
It's usually land dispute, right?
Yes.
But
yeah, away from that, let me say something about Donald Trump.
Please go ahead.
And in fact, if you just suppose the America and Nigeria, you see that there is a wide gap. There is no any way we can compare Nigeria with America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the worrisome aspect of it is that our leaders are not learning. Okay? Because they travel inside the country and they see how civilized these countries are, but they don't learn from them. They don't replicate what they see overseas in our own country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we continue having a new colonialism in this country. The outside the Western world, they continue determining who becomes the president of Nigeria.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We continue to loot our resources and go out there to invest in the developed cities of the world at the detriment of Nigeria.
Yes.
So our leaders, they don't learn. They don't learn. Okay?
Mm.
Now let me talk about the EFCC in Anambra State.
Yes.
How they invaded that apartment and one of their was shot.
Yeah.
It's quite very unfortunate. I think last day, the same issue happened in Enugu State, where EFCC badged into a live streaming studio that I'm talking about a fan studio. Okay?
Yes.
They badged into the live streaming studio and arrested some of their workers, like Febo Eko, and the other workers in Urban Radio.
It is true. I reported the story.
This is a similar scenario. Of course, if these workers were armed, I'm not saying that they must do something. Okay?
Yeah.
So, they should change their modus operandi. Okay? I think the reason why they should be operating like this. Uncivilized people that does not receive any training.
Yes.
Why should you go invade somebody's house?
What's the intent?
Uninformed. And they are telling me that they're diligent. Okay, now, if you recall what happened during regime, the administration.
Okay.
You recall that they invaded the judge's house in Abuja.
Of course. Of course. You remember the, what's his name, from Imo State?
Okay.
Rochas, when they invaded Rochas' house before the elections. They went through the ceiling. They went through the ceiling. The man was recording. You know, this behavior is not okay.
Quite very unfortunate, my sister. I don't see the reason why it's like this. Uncivilized, and they continue amassing the people's wealth. Behaving anyhow. Okay? What should you invade people's house?
The young man who lost his life was getting married in just 2 weeks.
Okay,
in just 2 weeks.
You saw what happened, the accumulation made it on a favor, the co. Not married to last year. And as I'm talking to you, the EFCC could not give him more explanation to that arrest.
It's over. That conversation is done. We never knew why she was, treated like that. It's hard. It's difficult.
But I think it was DSS then, during Buhari administration. This judges house in Abuja, and some of these things, some of these judges later died because of they were traumatic. I think you are hearing
I'm
me.
with you.
Because of that particular development, and they later gave up. Some of them, even from a state here, died after that invasion. Because it was a community against human treatment to a human being.
It's traumatizing, especially families where there are children who are sleeping. Do you know how bad it is to interrupt children at night?
See how, people we consider as rich people in the country. They were accumulated, and their house is seized overnight by the state, by God.
Oh, I think, okay. Thank you so much for calling the program this morning. You can also share your thoughts on these conversations with us. Share your views. You can drop your comments on YouTube at High Voltage News. Please do us a favor, subscribe, like, and share. You can also call our phone lines to share your thoughts with us this morning, 0706 048 5853. You can also call 0915 570 8347. Let's go to our investigated stories and tell you what's going on. The EFCC has already released a statement as regards the loss of one of their own. All right, so the first of all, they are going to make an announcement where where they have postponed the press statement. But first of all, this press statement was released just yesterday from the EFCC, from their own personal handle on the social media X, where some of the conversations are quite loud with lawyers and certain degrees of people commenting on this situation, and also with Nigerians confessing their experience at the hands of security forces and agents in this country, especially the EFCC. It turns out this mass invasion of homes has been a constant thing in so many states in this country. Anambra State is pleading with the EFCC to pity them and stop jumping into their homes in the middle of the night. This is a conundrum. It's a big problem. People are screaming on the internet and asking the EFCC to change the mode at which they go to address certain situations, because they are claiming that as security forces, nobody has rights to tell them when to go and address people who they have intels on and things like that. And Nigerians are also asking questions, but we've seen you send out invitations to people who are obvious thieves and criminals in this country. You beg them to come and report themselves, even when they are guilty of the crime. I mean, if I embezzle 80 billion and you set me free in the Supreme Court by paying a 500 million naira bail, and I did not see you busting into anybody's home to make this arrest. You literally had to beg the man. You begged the man so much, your begging did not make any effect until his party members called him out. It took the APC to call out Yahaya Bello, stating that he was embarrassing the party. And the next day, Yahaya Bello makes an appearance to the EFCC, and he's set free 2 weeks later. When someone like Ifeanyi Okowa is still being prosecuted for same offense, same crime. Let's be honest with ourselves. This is not fair. You people wouldn't do this to preferred candidates. We know how this works. But the average Nigerian can't even sleep at night because we are worried that you might just jump into hotel rooms. You harass people in hotel rooms. It's not fair. It's not fair. There is also a mental damage being done to the Nigerian people whereby you're making children fidget at night. You're making the night unsafe for families because people don't even know. You don't want Nigerians to use laptops. You don't want them to do technical businesses. You don't want them to do remote jobs. You don't want them to do anything that shows them the light. It's bordering on wickedness. It doesn't sound like this is a fight on corruption or crime. You can do investigations and find out what people are doing, but you can't pick up our boys for carrying laptops. That cannot be your excuse. You can't pick them up because you don't like their hairstyle. You need to be a lot more serious than that. Let's be honest with ourselves. Good morning to you. Greetings. Greetings. Good morning.
Good morning. You are much calling for me.
You're welcome.
And please, what are you talking about?
We are discussing the news this morning.
Okay, let me listen. Let me know what you want.
Oh yes, please do. Please do. And then call back when you figure out where you want to comment on. Okay, thank you, Romachi.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, let me read you the press statement from the EFCC, all right? EFCC condemns false narrative on the loss of officer. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, expresses grief on the loss of one of its officers, Assistant Superintendent of the EFCC, Ashetu Aminu Shahabi Salisu, who was killed in cold blood while on a legitimate duty on January 17, 2025, by a suspected internet fraudster Joshua Chukwebuka Ikechukwu. Additionally, the Commission views with great concern the irresponsible, callous, inhuman, and outrageous narratives being circulated on social media on the whys and wherefores of the fatal incident and accident. It is heinous to reduce the death of a gallant officer who was carrying out patriotic and official duties to social media razzmatazz. More worrisome is the fact that some faceless commenters are pitching their tent with an alleged criminal who unleashed terror on officers of the EFCC in their line of duty. This is a justification whatsoever to rationalize a murderous act. The milk of human kindness demands that a grieving family, commission, and nation should be spared the shenanigans of false narrative and conjectures on the death of a slain officer. Now, this statement is longer than you know. You can catch up on it on High Voltage, where we will put up the statement, we'll put up the press release from the EFCC about the loss of Shahabu Salisu. May God rest his soul. But it's time to have a conversation. This is not good for anybody. It doesn't look good on Nigerians who are commenting, but then there is never a smoke without fire. We must all take responsibility. The man who was allegedly invaded is a known medical doctor who was said to be someone who does what they call remote work, where he also is a professional coder. If you know anything about crypto and all of these internet technicalities, you would know what coding is. A lot of people are doing those now because in Nigeria, even as a medical doctor, you do need a side hustle to sustain yourself and your family. And I can guarantee you, I know other doctors who are running into crypto and trying to see if they can make a stake there. Because in this country, your salaries can apparently not sustain you and your family. Minimum wage of 70,000 naira is still difficult for Nigerian governors to pay. So let's be honest with the things that are happening here. Medical doctors in this country need side hustles. You go to the hospitals, they're selling snacks, they're selling beverages and recharge cards. Professionals. Because the Nigerian system makes sure that you'll need an extra. You need an extra job. You need a side hustle. It doesn't matter what you do. Lawyers, engineers, it doesn't matter what you do. Even judges have a side hustle of running around with governors. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Greetings.
I'm Obiala Cletus calling from Maryland.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, the press statements you read did not mention the time of the event and what happened exactly. So I don't know what EFCC is trying to write. They should write the time when the thing happened. Let's see the legitimacy of the duty. I'm sorry for the young man that is affected by their way of operation.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then if they are tackling all the young boys that are, I don't even know what this country wants for the youths.
I don't know.
You cannot get a job in the country. You cannot even do remote jobs in peace. You cannot even do crypto again.
That's right.
So what is this government? Since Buhari's government, it has been like that. They started this crypto fight and all this.
That's right.
What is the problem with crypto? Is it a crime?
Banning Bitcoin, banning Bybit, everybody gone.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay, like yesterday now, a currency called the Trump.
Oh, yes. Actually, billionaires have been made between last night and this morning. Trust me.
Over yesterday.
Within 24 hours.
160% increase.
Between 24 hours.
You don't want Nigerian youths to key into this and escape poverty so that you keep them in poverty line and continue controlling them the way you have been doing all this while. They should just look at what else to do. If they no longer want to use, let them kukuma decide on what to do with the youth so that it will remain old men in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my good man, for calling the program this morning. This is a conversation that needs to be had. I saw the other day that Maurice Mounier had been drafted into the National Youth Association. I also saw that Aproko Doctor has also been drafted in. They've been given very special jobs there with the Nigerian Youth Association. Please, I hope that these young men will begin to have certain conversations that will improve the lives of young people in this country, because let me tell you, as a young person who is looking at the hopelessness that Nigeria has to offer is bordering on mental illness. I can guarantee you this. Good morning.
Good morning once again, Mavis.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they're famous Chuku from Ezega.
You're welcome, Amos.
All right. I must tell you that whoever have gathered and infested the firewood, have called the lizard and other reptiles to come and feast in his home. And that is the issue of EFCC. Yes, I will continue to say this because they lack professionalism in their conduct. I can assure you that I was telling you that they invaded the home of judges during the Buhari administration. Some of them that died, including one of the judges from my state here. I can assure you that. Because what goes around comes around. If you consider somebody as an opposition, you don't just humiliate that person like that. The way they operate is quite very, very uncalled for. I must tell you, it's quite very uncalled for. And I don't see the reason why Nigerians are not, the so-called, and these people are an extension of the federal government. They do all these things, to continue to help those in authority. They don't do things in a way to curb crime. This is a way to eliminate people's ambitions. Okay? Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Amos Chuku. It was said that the man had like a Mercedes-Benz and some other expensive vehicle parked in his compound. So apparently you're not allowed to probably even own luxury products. I don't understand. So hardworking Nigerians can buy good cars. They are not expected to probably have good hairstyles. luxury is a sign of fraudulence in our country? Is that how backwards we think we are? I'm worried about the young people in this country who are on the receiving end of these attitudes and these ideologies. And then you kind of want the young people to have a different outlook to life. Have you seen the stories that are coming out of some of your agencies? Have you had the